Happy New Year, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining me here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy New Year. Happy Monday. Every Monday, we are hanging out with you here on YouTube to talk Royal Caribbean cruises. Thank you for being a part of the fun, and I'm so glad you are joining us here today, whether you're watching us on the replay or checking us out live. Hello and welcome. I am super excited to be talking with you guys. First live broadcast of the new year here on YouTube Live. I am ready. We got our chat in the house. Holy moly, Jan Fagan already hitting us with an epic super chat. Woo! Jan Fagan, thank you very much. I don't think a notification has come up yet. It's bound to be here in a minute. Jan, thank you so much for the super chat. My goodness, 2021 is off to a great start, guys. I'm just saying, we're ready for the cruises to begin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got Michelle Prose is here. Deputy Dog. Jason Morris is here. I think I saw Tony Diaz pulling up in his Pinto. Welcome, Tony. Good to see you, buddy. Les Sylvan, hello. We've got Leon from cold Green Bay. Welcome. John Bennett. Mel Caps is here. Hello, Mel. Good to see you as always. Welcome. Glad everyone is joining us here. So let's answer some Royal Caribbean questions. What is on your mind about Royal Caribbean? Drop your questions in chat. I know some of you actually did that even before the broadcast began. I'm going to try to backtrack a little bit here. Carlos in the house. I went through Q&A withdrawals. I missed the last two. Need my fix. Welcome back, Carlos. Good to see you here, buddy. Kama Maddie says, I'm going on my second cruise in 2022 on Allure this season for my birthday in June. I'll be 12. We have a group of 12 going any type of trip or anything. I think you have a group of 12 going. When it comes to a group, I think the best approach to that, quite frankly, is to you want to set up, I think, some common times. You don't want to be joined at the hip. It's a big group, but I think you definitely want to set up like dinners together. That's always a really good approach for organizing groups. That way it's like, all right, listen, you guys do whatever you want to do. Maybe we all hang out the whole day. Who knows? But if all else fails, 7 o'clock we're here or 5 o'clock we're here for dinner. That's always a good way to kind of get together. Another really good idea is to agree on a group messaging app. It probably makes sense for you guys, at least somebody in every family or room, to buy an internet package and use Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or even iMessage. That way you can message each other easily on the ship, and there's less of a, hey, has anyone seen Uncle Keith, right? No, Keith Bruce is right there, right? You want to make sure that you got that all taken care of. So that'd be my recommendation there. I see Jennifer Kellen from MEI Travel. Hello, Jennifer. Matt Banville, a belated happy birthday to Matt. Matt had his birthday just over the weekend, so wishing the Banvilles a very happy birthday. Hope it was a great one, my friend. Steve Cohen, any word on Canadians letting us in for Alaska Cruise on Anthem in May? Zilch, nada. No updates in that regard to share, unfortunately. Jenny and Chris, how long is cruise planner refunds taking nowadays? It really depends, but in general, it comes back fairly quickly in my experience. I mean, there's certainly, I've heard all sorts of reports from, a day or two to a couple weeks and even longer in some cases. So, yeah, it's, the saying, your mileage may vary, YMMV. Very much the case as well here. I think I saw, Janice, I have a group of 800 sailing in Independence of the Seas, April 10th. Wow, that is awesome. Hey, Ed Speece with a big super chat. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Ed with the super chat coming in there. Thank you. There's Ed. Look at that. Yeah, Alpha's right. Whoa, Kim Oakland. Happy New Year, Kim. Kenny K in the house. Kenny says, have you ever seen the messaging in the Royal Caribbean app work yet? Need a big ship to test it. I've seen it work on Allure and Harmony this season before the shutdown, but if you're asking since the shutdown, no, I've not heard any updates from anything on board the ship, quite frankly. There was, it was interesting. I'm not sure if it's still the case, but I know that at one point in Singapore, they were charging for the app, for the chat feature on the app. I'm not sure if that was a test or if that's just the way things are in Singapore, but we've got Becky Menken from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Becky. Happy New Year to you. We've got Matt Johnson. Hello. Mike Whelan. Late August, early summer cruises to Alaska. There is no answer to anybody's cruise about when they may or may not happen. We're all in the same shadow of, or fog of war, shadow of unknowns. It's obviously the question we all really want to know. I mean, if I could come out here and answer one question and leave, it would definitely be that one. When will cruising actually restart, whether it's in Alaska, whether it's in the Caribbean, Europe, Australia? We just don't know at this point. There's still too many variables. There's just not enough information, quite frankly. So, yeah, no updates to share yet. I am hoping with the new year will be some new updates that I can also share with all of you guys. So, Carlos, any news on embarkation? Will early boarding times still happen? That's a good question, Carlos. I've not seen any updates beyond what we've seen for a while now. So the answer is no updates, but anything's possible. I think at the very least, Carlos, they're going to spread out embarkation. I think they're going to try to limit the amount of people in the terminal. I know in Singapore they did this, so that's why I'm kind of expecting something along those lines. Becky, you're absolutely right. Waiting. DX Rocks, going on my first cruise in September of 2022. If I have things added to a bill during the cruise, does it have to be paid by final payment date, or will I have a few days or weeks to pay on it? It has to be paid by the end of the cruise. Now, that being said, DX Rocks, I mean, you can charge to your credit card, right? They'll charge to your credit card on the last day of the cruise, and obviously your billing cycle may not require you to make payment for a couple more weeks. But yes, you do not leave the ship until you are settled up. I remember we were on a Royal Caribbean group cruise, and our boarding was delayed by a couple hours because one lady was having, well, how do I put this gently? She was having billing issues. She was not settled up completely. So, Tukes Vegas sitting here watching on TV with the wife. Hi, wife. Hi, Tukes Vegas wife. Shout out to Jean, please, and tell us about your favorite Alaska cruise I can take her on. Well, Jean, now that I know your name, you're not just Tukes Vegas wife. Hello and welcome. Listen, I went to Alaska one time in 2018. I had a cruise to Alaska last year that got canceled. I put a deposit down for from Alaska cruises in 2022, just in case, you never know. But I'll tell you this, if you've never been to Alaska before, a great round trip from Seattle, Ovation to the Seas, you can't go wrong with that. That'll hit a lot of the check marks right there for you. Definitely the way to go, and welcome. So, Scott Beering, any word if the cruise industry is going to be strong enough to survive another year if they have to return before returning to service? Good question, Scott. At the very least, the last we've heard is that Royal Caribbean, I can only speak for Royal Caribbean, has enough cash on hand to last through pretty much the end of this year with no revenue. A lot of people seem to believe, and when I say people, I mean industry experts and Wall Street analysts seem to believe that cruising will resume in some capacity by the end of this year. So I think so. And the other thing is, so let's not forget, creditors really do not want to take possession of cruise ships. It's not really their gain. I think there's some flexibility out there. Holy moly, Anne-Marie Myers with an epic super chat. Woo! Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thank you. Very kind of you. Appreciate that. Wow, we are off to a pretty darn good start today, I gotta say. Thank you, guys. Very generous off the bat. EC, please tell us about the casinos and buffet service. Do you know anything about it? What about it exactly? Are you worried about how they're going to look going forward, or something else or how they work in general? Hey, Dan Waterman from MEI Travel is here. Holy moly! Another epic super chat from Jan. Jan, you are crazy. My goodness. Woo! Thank you, Jan, again. Wowie, wow. Hey, Javon is here. Welcome. Stephen Epling, really disappointed on the ship change for our cruise in November 21 from Explorer of the Seas through, I think, Radiance of the Seas is what you're putting there. Any news of a discount on the sailing because of the ship change? No, but don't forget, Stephen, you can cancel the cruise. I mean, your cruise is not until November 2021, so you're not stuck on there. You can easily cancel. There's no penalty, assuming you didn't book non-refundable cruise fare. So that's your other option, don't forget. Don't assume you're locked into that particular sailing. So Daniel Boberson says, Jan really wants to go on a cruise, right? DXR, do you have any tips to help to keep the cost down while on your cruise? Great question. Pre-purchase as much as you can. You're sitting here in January 2021. Purchase things piecemeal as you go forward, right? Maybe this month you buy that drink package. Maybe next month you buy a shore excursion. Because when you pre-purchase these things, you pay for them off at the time of purchase. And the nice thing about that is that helps space out and help budget your vacation. I have to sneeze. It's coming like any second now. Yeah, here it is. Sorry. So spacing things out is a really good tip. Number 2, you can also make payments along the way for your cruise in general. So if you book with a travel agent, ask your travel agent, hey, can you charge me $100, $500, $1,000, and make periodic payments rather than being hit with the final payment date at the very end. Eli from Ocoee, hello and welcome. Nick from Singapore, what's up, dude? Book on a suite will get 3 points a night for this year, right? You will get, no, you'll get 4 points per night if it's if there's 2 people in the room. 4 points per night, because usually you would get 2. Perry Kennedy, newbie to Royal Caribbean, welcome. NCL has the rebellious, wait a minute, I missed has the rebellious fish as its signature cocktail. What does Royal Caribbean have that's suitably celebratory for a first drink back on the seas? Ooh, you know what I like? My favorite thing, my favorite drink to go to on a Royal Caribbean cruise is a lava flow with Kraken rum. Tell them exactly like that. Lava flow with Kraken rum. So lava flow is basically a pina colada with a fruit mix in between. It's not too fruity, don't worry. It's mostly pina colada. And the Kraken rum is a brand of rum. It's so good. That is my go-to. If you're visiting Perfect Day Coco Key, you want to order the Coco Loco. If you're at Labadee, you want to order the Labadoozy. Those are the signature drinks of those places. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. And Queensy. Craig, any new announcements on any COVID protocols or related restrictions, safety information? Nothing to announce yet. I mean, obviously, guys, as you all know, I mean, today was really the first day back in the office. I'm sure a lot of Royal Caribbean employees, to be expected, certainly. But I will also tell you that there's no updates yet. But again, my hope is that we're going to get a good sense of where things are going here this month. My hope is we're going to get some more updates, some more insight into what to expect. So fingers crossed with that as we move forward. So, hey, Russell Pendleton, welcome. Bill Egger, is the ultimate dining package worth it for a 7-day cruise on Liberty of the Seas? It can be, absolutely. I mean, it's going to save you money. There's no doubt about it. The question is, do you want to eat at a specialty restaurant every day for dinner and sometimes for lunch as well? I've done the unlimited dining package. I generally like it. It's just a lot of food. There are going to be times in which you're going to be saying to yourself, I really don't want to go to a specialty restaurant for dinner tonight, but I bought the package. Not the end of the world by any means, but, Mike Pastore is here. Welcome. Thomas from South Carolina. How good is Allure of the Seas? I've always been on Carnival ships, but it was their older ships like the Sensation. How does the Allure compare? Oh, Allure is much newer, and it's the best of the best. You'll love Allure of the Seas. The Oasis class ships, that's a good something. I don't know. It's a great ship. You'll love Allure of the Seas. So Mike Pastore says, Matt, we're having a lot of Coco Locos in November. Please, yes. I cannot wait for that. Absolutely. Beth Dickerson from MEI Travel. What's up, Beth? Good to see you. I will take any drink on a ship right now, right? Oh, yeah, it's how about I'm trying to think of like the worst possible drink. I don't know, something with bitters in it. Yes, please give me 3 of them. Yes. Ron Ledowski wants to know, is the only Royal Caribbean excursions requirement still in effect? Officially, that hasn't been announced by Royal Caribbean, other than Singapore, which of course Singapore has no cruises that go to any ports. So officially, Ron, nothing's been announced yet to that effect, if you want to be technical about it. Kamamati, does Royal Caribbean pay for our travel agent if we were to get one, or like what happens? Yes, great question, Kamamati. So you don't pay anything extra for a travel agent. You should absolutely not pay anything extra. Royal Caribbean pays them a commission, finder's fee, but that cost is not passed on to you. That's from the cruise line side of things. So there should be no additional cost for you using a travel agent, and just added service and benefits. Deputy Dog, if Royal Caribbean is, by the way, it's a great name. If Royal Caribbean is required to limit capacity and they have oversold, have they determined the guidelines on how to reduce their manifest? They have not, or at least they haven't announced it yet. So yeah, and that's another big question. A lot of people want to know, and we just don't know the answer to that one quite yet. Crystal wants to know, what is my favorite Oasis class ship? Harmony of the Seas. Love it. Great dining on board. I love the entertainment. That's what makes it stand out for me. So, Nagamani Makina wants to know, what is it about the beverage package? As in, like, what makes it so cool? I think it's just a fixed price. What makes the drink package appealing is you pay one price, that's it, and you enjoy unlimited drinks on board the ship. It's a very compelling option to have because it adds such convenience to your cruise. You're not sitting there and being like, do I really want to drink? Well, yeah, but then I have to pay like $10 now, and then I'm buying a drink later. Like, you start doing the math in your head, Anyway, you get away from that with the drink package because you pre-purchase it, it's budgeted, you're set, and you can enjoy as much or as little as you want. Daniel says, saw your blog post earlier about your experience on iFly. Can you tell us why this was a bad experience for you? Absolutely. So I thought I did a little bit of describing it in the post, but basically when I went on Quantum of the Seas, and Becky Menken from MEI Travel can attest to this, I tried the iFly, and basically what you're supposed to do is you're floating in the air, obviously, with your stomach facing the ground, right? Or your head facing the ground like this, like traditionally you see in a skydiving. I somehow inverted myself. Like I caught like an edge or something, and I flipped over and ended up on my back on the ground, and I didn't know what to do because the safety training did not go over what happens in that situation. So I was very embarrassed, and I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't fun. So I'm not very talented or coordinated. That's my problem right there. Keith Bruce, what's up, dude? When is your next hopeful cruise? Spring break. We've got a cruise March something or other, or mid the teens, whatever that week is, on Harmony of the Seas this March. Really hoping that it'll happen, but that's our next scheduled cruise. So, Steve, Matt had a full head of hair before iFly. Let's go with that. Yeah, absolutely. Jennifer Kelton loved iFly. I'm sure a lot of people do. It's just personally, I didn't enjoy it. And if you're wondering what the heck we're talking about, check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I listed, I think, 9 or 10 things that I tried on a Royal Caribbean cruise that I won't do again. iFly is one of them. Has anyone else done in chat? Has anyone in chat done the iFly and liked it? I want to know what your thoughts were about that. Danny DiMatteo, is there a huge difference between the cost of an ocean view balcony and an inside room? And what would you recommend? Good question, Danny. There's a new blog, speaking of new blog posts, there's a new blog post kind of about that today. The answer is there a huge difference in cost between a balcony and an inside room? Sometimes there is, sometimes there is not. It really depends on the sailing. Pricing varies from sailing to sailing, ship to ship. So the price gap that, Becky Menken has for her sailing might be different than the cost between an inside and a balcony room for your sailing or my sailing. So sometimes it's really not that much more. Sometimes it is a lot more. A lot of it has to do with how early you book, demand, variety of other factors that are just hard to, it's a holiday, things of that nature. But it really depends. So the answer is it depends, but there's not a hard and fast rule. Sometimes it's very marginal. Sometimes it's significant. Just depends all the way. In terms of what you should get, if you're truly like, I don't know what to do, Matt, just point me in the direction and give me a shove. I would say if it's your first cruise, get a balcony. No one ever really complains about a balcony. I mean, the worst thing you can say about a balcony is that it costs more than an inside room and that money can be used for something else. Fair, but, at the end of the day, it doesn't ruin your cruise. It just makes for a very, it's an enjoyable thing right there. So, yeah. Perry Kennedy, I've done iFly on land, loved it, and a middle-aged lady with all the coordination of a drunk turtle. Well, I was a very sober upside-down turtle when I did, but I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it. So, Ronowski loved iFly and got great photos of him flying while doing it. Nice. Les Sylvan says, schedule a back-to-back from Venice in October, hoping for the best. I hope you get to go on both those sailings, man. That sounds amazing. That sounds great. Brogan Lawrence, what's up, Brogan? Back into full lockdown here in the UK. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Stay safe out there. We're thinking of you, and hey, listen, at least you got some entertainment to keep you going here in the meantime. So, Beachy Mama, great name. What's the best excursion that Royal Caribbean offers in Costa Maya? That's a great question. You know why? Because I've never done any excursion through Royal Caribbean. When I go to Costa Maya, I go to Maya Chen. Maya Chen is an all-inclusive resort type area that I absolutely love. I've been there a number of times. Really like it quite a bit. Unfortunately, I've not done anything through Royal Caribbean in that regard. There was an interesting water park that I think is also shut down because of COVID over there. So maybe somebody has any good recommendations for things you can book through the cruise line in Costa Maya for Beachy Mama. Matthew Smith is here. Hey, Matt, great name, by the way. The UK is back in lockdown again, not looking hopeful for our September cruise on Oasis. Hey, listen, if you want to look at, I don't want to say this is the good news, but the positive spin on this is everyone's expected this. This isn't a surprise that things are bad right now. And even back in, October, November, we expected it to get worse before it gets better in terms of the effects of the vaccine. So if it wasn't for the vaccine, Matthew, I'd be like, yeah, dude, this is bad. But the silver lining to all of this is as the vaccine starts to really get out there, it's really going to help in the long term. And as we move through, it's not going to help me in January, February, far from it. But as we move into the spring and even in the early summer, we're going to see those effects start to take place. So stay safe out there. I know it's tough. No one wants to be in lockdown. No one wants to do any of these things. But it's obviously what we got to do our part now to help bring those numbers down. And more importantly, stay safe. And then in the long term, and I say long term, I'm talking about, a couple months, we'll have better situation to allow us not only to be able to go outside again and do things, but also go on a cruise. So, not a real person. I met my wife 15 years ago today, and we've been on 8 Royal Caribbean cruises since. Congratulations. That is fantastic. And I got to tell you, when I met my wife, she had never been on a cruise before. I'd only cruised a couple of times before. But cruising is something that we discovered as a couple that we really enjoyed, and now as a family, and we absolutely love it. My kids are going back to school tomorrow, and my youngest was like, can't we just go on a cruise instead? I was like, boy, do I wish that was the case. So, okay, so I see Montez wants to know, do you know if there's any modifications to the buffet because of COVID? Good question. So you can actually see a good example of this, what Royal Caribbean is doing with Quantum of the Seas over in Singapore. And the real modification that we're seeing so far, among some other changes, is that it's full service. So instead of you going down the line and be like, ooh, a roll, or ooh, a burger, and you grabbing it with tongs and serving yourself, there's a crew member behind there who will serve you. That's the biggest change. Obviously, also social distancing in terms of spreading out the tables a little bit more. But yeah, those are the main changes we've seen on Quantum of the Seas, which is sailing in Singapore. And let's face it, going to be pretty close to, I think, what we're going to expect here in the U.S. Beachy Mom, what's a good hotel to stay in Miami that's close to the beach and offers a shuttle to the airport and the hotel? Number one, don't look for a hotel that offers a shuttle. It's a waste of your time. You're limiting yourself for no reason. It's 2021. Lyft and Uber are what you want. Shuttles will run on a very limited schedule, and the fact that they are free is usually offset by the fact you're paying more for the hotel. Just ignore that. Find the best hotel at the best rate you can get, and just take Lyft or Uber to the port. That way you're traveling on your schedule, and you're also making sure that you can get the best possible accommodations at the lowest price. In terms of beach hotel by the beach, I stayed at the Surfcomer Hotel, which is in Miami Beach, or South Beach area. Really nice. The Surfcomer is it's a Holiday Inn resort. It used to be something else. Anyway, fantastic resort. Would recommend that quite a bit. There's a lot of great hotels in that area. You can walk to the beach very easily from there. It's right on South Beach. It's absolutely beautiful. I would recommend that one quite a bit. Jason Morris, I wonder if they'll require vaccines at some point. I got to tell you, Jason, that's like one of the major questions right now. A lot of people want to know the big question: when will cruising resume? That's obvious. Will a vaccine be required to go on a cruise? And by the way, the answer to all of these is nobody knows yet, so don't assume anything. Will we require a vaccine? What happens if a cruise is already sold beyond a limited capacity threshold? Something we had earlier in this chat here. Will more ships be sold? As in sold off? Who knows? So. DX Works, if I book as a single cruiser with a travel agent, can I change it to add someone later? Yes, absolutely. You can definitely do that. It's really a question for you of, they may change the fare, but absolutely. Yeah. So, holy moly, we've got back-to-back super chats. Woo! Kim Oakland with an epic super chat. Woo! We prepay our gratuities, but I want to pay a little bit more. Are there any guidelines for paying additional gratuities and or amounts? Good question, Kim. No, there's no, it's really up to you at your discretion. Some people do, they'll order a drink. Here's $1 or $2. Some people wait till the end of the cruise. They find, a server that really, they had a connection with. Here's a little something, whether that's $10, $20, $100. I've seen it all around run the gamut, quite frankly. Stateroom attendants, let me put it this way, Kim. Nobody's going to take your gratuity and be like, madam, I am insulted by this. They will gladly accept what you can give them. So there's all sorts of rates that are out there. It's really up to you. You can't go wrong. Let's put it that way. And Danny I got to get your name right, dude, because it's a great Italian name. Danny DiMatteo. DiMatteo? Did I get that right? Danny, thank you for the super chat as well. Guys, really, what a start to the first Royal Caribbean Blog YouTube Live of 2021. I am I'm very lucky. Thank you guys so much for the generosity. My goodness. Ashley Brian, have you ever used the offsite parking service at Port Canaveral like GoPort? And do you recommend them over parking at the actual port? One thing I'm very stern about, and listen, I'm a tightwad as much as anybody. Becky Mankin can confirm this for you guys. I will never and do not recommend parking offsite anywhere at any point, period. Number one, most importantly, the convenience you give up by having the parking lot like right adjacent to the cruise port is not worth any money saved. You barely save any money by parking offsite, number one. Number two, offsite parking relies on a transport system like a shuttle service, which always takes forever, especially on the last day of the cruise. You just want to be able to get out of your car, go to the terminal, and likewise when the cruise is over, more importantly, when you're tired and depressed, just get in your car and go. Not wait for a shuttle, not get in line. You don't want to deal with any of those things. And for all those reasons, in addition to Miami's offsite parking has a terrible reputation for safety, cars being broken into and whatnot. I don't recommend it at all. Park at the terminal. Yes, it'll cost a little bit more money. It's not like you're paying half less if you go somewhere else. Just pay there. It's just part of the cost. So, yeah. Russell Pendleton is new to this. What's Super Chat? Super Chat is basically the tip jar. It's that little dollar icon that you see below where you type, and it's an optional thing. No, not required. It's just something you can do in order to, if you want to give a tip or not. Wayne booked back-to-back cruises for New Year's 2022 in January on different ships. Hopefully they'll have vaccine documentation changes by then. Let's hope so, my friend. I hope everybody who's got cruises coming up this year has an opportunity to go on it. So, Tim Gallagher, yo Tim, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Welcome. Mike McAvoy, getting in and out of Port Canaveral parking areas is very easy. Yes, absolutely. Kristen Nuva wants to know when cruising resumes, and if masks are required, can you get a refund on your cruise? Well, it depends on when the answer depends on when your cruise is, Chris. The new policies will have no effect on your cancellation period, Chris. So if you got a cruise coming up, let's say in March or April, and you're worried about that, that's a no-go for you, then my recommendation for you is probably you should cancel that before final payment date. I mean, you can always rebook it later on. Let's put it that way. But I do not expect, granted, I don't know more than you do, my friend, but I do not expect there to be a special provision when some of these new rules come down that they will allow you to cancel. I just don't see that happening. I could be wrong on that, but if you want to play it safe, that's what I would do. Hey, Brenna with a super chat. Thank you, Brenna. And Brenna with thanks. You're very welcome, Brenna. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you guys. Becky Macon, I'm really looking forward to sailing with Matt again so we can debate things like the key. There's no debate, Becky. I'm right, and if you disagree with me, then you're wrong. DX Rex, how would I find the cost of per night parking at Port Liberty in New Jersey? It's on the website. If you Google Cape Liberty, there's Cape Liberty parking. I am sure it is listed on there for you. It shouldn't be too hard to figure out. So, Thomas D, thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate that. Not a real person says, I would go on a cruise wrapped in a garbage bag. I'm willing to, for me personally, I'm willing to go on a cruise, mask or whatnot. I mean, for me, it's not like living at home is any I can go do whatever I want here. And these cruise lines have very specific rules that are, apart from that. It's a continuation of what we're doing over here, number one. And number two, it's still on a cruise. If you looked at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com in the last couple of weeks, we have this great live blog going from Quantum of the Seas. And my takeaway from all this was that it still looks like a very fun experience. Masks are not the end of the world. And at the end of the day, I want to go on vacation. I want to relax. And even if you want to relax just in your stateroom, you can do that because it's great to be able to do that. And that's, by the way, your room, you do not have to wear a mask in. So, hey, maybe that's where you do. Maybe you splurge a bit more for a nicer room, balcony, a suite. Maybe that's your approach right there. Not a bad idea. Dustin May, we booked our first Royal Caribbean cruise 2 years ago for December 2020, and now we don't know if we want to go, even though it's mid-2022, but we want to go so bad, right? I know that feeling, Dustin. And listen, man, we're coming up on, I believe, I should say, we're coming up on the end of this. We're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not sure if that light is like super bright or if it's dim, but we're moving in the right direction, my friends. So. Stacy Lamp, if you book back-to-back, do you prefer the same ship or different ships? Same ship. It's a lot easier. I mean, what do you want? If you're going to do a back-to-back, ideally, your same ship, same room, that makes it a whole lot more, it's easier and I think more enjoyable, quite frankly. So, Nathan is here. What's up, dude? Perhaps you know, have refunds of taxes and port fees been coming after the canceled sale date? In terms of like, Nathan, is your question that you're getting like the refund for like the cruise fare on one particular day and then later on the port fees? I have not seen a direct correlation, but I have seen, yes, the refunds, when they do come, Nathan, are not usually all together. They come in different things. Thank God for my travel agent, because there's been a lot of weird charges on there. And I will tell you that because of my travel agent, I'm able to figure out exactly what's going on there. So yeah, it's crazy times, but yes, they do come a little bit piecemeal. So you're not missing anything right there. DJ Insomnia, what's the word on a Royal Caribbean transatlantic from England to New Jersey 10-night cruise? No updates to report, my friend. No, I know exactly what you're angling at, but no updates to share at this time. And we have a super chat coming in. DX Rocks 900. Thank you for all the tips and advice. Thank you, DX Rocks, for the very kind words. I'm so glad you are enjoying this. And look who's in our chat. Dawn is here. I still haven't gotten the port fees and taxes from the Alaska cruise in June. Really? I'm surprised to hear that one. I'm pretty sure I'm square up. I have to check I have a spreadsheet, Dawn. But good to see you here, Dawn. A year ago, actually, I think a year ago we were getting off the ship or something like that. But it's been a year since I cruised with Dawn on Freedom of the Seas. That was awesome. Loved it. And when I think of Dawn, you know what? Even though we were talking about Freedom of the Seas, you know what cruise now, to me, you are synonymous with? Anthem of the Seas in the pub over there. That pub singer. I can't say the name of the song that's here in chat, but you know what I'm talking about. I loved it. And Dawn is a great example of the great people we meet here in this we have here in this community. I am so proud of the community we have here at Royal Caribbean Blog. Not because you guys are super generous, that's wonderful as well, but we've got such good friends. Hey, Roger, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so. It's free. You get notified when there's new videos out there, and your name will pop up there. And Karen, thank you for subscribing. So, Thomas D, back-to-back cruises sounds awesome. Yes. Ashley Bryan, thanks for the advice. Can port parking be prepaid? Depends on the port. Some can. I am pretty sure Tampa allows you to do so. Others you cannot. In terms of like prepaying it before your actual cruise. Most of them will charge you when you get there on the day to avoid a line later on. Miami, I think, charges you when your cruise is over, but some of them do allow you to prepay. Just depends on what's going on there. Don, we were having a sea day today, and it's just a little friendly little cat. Meow. Wenzel, if I do masters in hospitality management and have 5 years experience, will it help me be executive housekeeper? That's a great question. I have no idea. I don't work for Royal Caribbean, and I don't have a lot of insight into how to really advance or make it on the working in the company. It's a great question, but I'll tell you this much: getting that kind of experience beforehand and doing a master's and experience is king, I think, in this industry, in the hospitality industry. So I think you're probably going about it the right way. Not a bad idea. So, Ali's got a question. Drink package with alcohol, especially coffees are included, but will they bring them via room service? No. So the two times you cannot use your drink package and be included, room service and the minibar. Those are the two most noticeable exceptions to the drink package. So you can go down to, Cafe Promenade or any bar and get specialty coffees, drinks. Is he still waiting? There's no alcohol in there. Really? I'll be right back, chat. I think my Amazon Prime order is here. Why don't you go talk to them?
Don't worry, people. I'm here. I am here today. Yay. Look at this cute hairstyle. Go away. I'm online. Me too. Aww.
Bye. It's school night. Careful, Aubrey. You're going to knock things over. Aubrey, go. All right. That was I ordered groceries, and anyway, we thought maybe they were staying there, like waiting for me to sign off on it, but they just dropped it off. So, hey, Tony Cover Comedy. Oh my God, it smells like kids shampoo in here. Tony Cover Comedy. Thanks for the super chat for the little ones. That'll just be our little secret. Trust me, they got the money. Don't worry, Tony. They've gotten it over the course of their life right there. So, sorry, I missed. I know that was quite the change right there and the little pause. I apologize, but we're back here. So Katie's got a question. I'm so torn about what we would do if masks are still required when we sail. I get the need to be safe, but I'd rather wait until things are as close to normal as possible. And listen, Katie, and you know this, right? You don't have to go on the cruise. If you're not comfortable with that particular rule, then the best thing you should do is a couple things. Number one, I don't know when your cruise is scheduled to sail, Katie, but if you make sure there's a couple other sailings or a lot of sailings beforehand, it might give you some good information. Certainly, Katie, I will be on a cruise as soon as I possibly can to be able to report on those kinds of things. So maybe you get a good insight into what to expect there, but keep an eye on your final payment date. And if it's really a sticking point, I mean, no one really, wants it by any means. But if you're saying, Matt, there is no way I would go on a cruise if I have to wear a mask, and I would tell you quite simply, you should cancel before final payment date and wait things out a little bit more, because eventually that rule will go away. Eventually. Don't know when, but eventually. Hey, Matt Smith from one Matt to another. Matt says, you are amazing. Oh, thank you, Matt. Wow. Blimey. 20 quid. Thank you, my friend. Queet Beats Q. I love these names. Do you think the drink package, why do you think the drink package is invalid for room service? I think because of the gratuity aspect to it. I also think that maybe they're trying to prevent abuse of it. I'm not sure. It's a really good question. I never heard a rationale. I always assumed it was because of the fact that there's extra tipping involved with that. There's more of a service aspect to that. So it would be above and beyond what would be ordinarily someone bringing you a drink from the bar versus hoofing it up the ship to bring it to you, But that also, if people started just ordering drinks only, it would really eat up the resources of room service. So. Jason wants to know, does the prices change for the key? Yes. The prices for the key will vary considerably. They're all over the place, quite frankly. So, yes. If you're seeing the price and you're like, wait a little bit longer, you never know. So. Captain Sable Main Dining Room. What's up, dude? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Was at Target today and saw gift cards for Princess, Carnival, and Holland America, but sadly no Royal Caribbean. What's up with that? Yeah, it's weird. Royal Caribbean does have gift certificates. I don't recommend them. The real reason being, I think they just... The redemption rules are crazy restrictive. It's not like buying a Best Buy gift card. The thing you notice about all those companies you mentioned, Princess, Carnival, Holland America, they're all owned by Carnival Corp. So basically, Royal Caribbean's version is digital. There's not a physical form to it. But more importantly, the redemption rules are not good. So I would say I would love for them to come up with something a little more simplified, easy to use, and as convenient as picking them up in your Target or what have you. But it's just not in the cards right now. Not in the cards, get it? But that was unintentional. Hey, not a real person. Thank you for the super chat. Any Song of Norway alums out there? That is before my time. Has anyone here been on Song of Norway? That goes back a time. I mean, that goes back to like that poster time. So, DXR, can you remind me what the key covers? Primarily, you get internet every day. You get priority access to special signature activities on board, priority embarkation and disembarkation. You get to store your luggage on the first day of your cruise. Those are the big ones right there. And let's see here. Keith Bruce, I know we're allowed to bring 2 bottles of wine per cabin, but does it say if there's a size limit? Yes, it's 750 milliliters. So, you cannot bring like the big honker to like, you could also christen a new cruise ship one, and you can't use that. 750 milliliters. Do I think they'll actually check it? Probably not. Just don't be egregious about it, quite frankly. But, yeah. Testicle, do you think great name. Do you think the theaters are going to open up on board? Oh, yeah. Theaters? Absolutely. They've already done that on Quantum of the Seas. So, yes, the answer is yes. Big honker, isn't that like a thing? Caitlin Spearman, what do you think about the drink package? I love all the drink package questions. Did Mike Pastore put you all up to this? What do you all think about the drink package that has all the drinks that aren't alcoholic? The Royal Refreshment package. Do you think it's worth it? Absolutely. I mean, for kids, for people who just don't drink a lot, like my wife, yes, absolutely. It includes not only mocktails, but coffee, bottled water, sports juices like, Powerade and whatnot. Absolutely, yes. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah. I think it just like the alcoholic drink package. Listen, there's not enough coffee in the day. I think we can all agree on that one. And if you're a big coffee drinker, you love your lattes, your espressos, and of course bottled water, man, you can totally make it worthwhile. Michelle Pros with a super chat. No question for you. Just wanted to see more Alf. Thanks for all you do as well. Listen, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Janelle says your kids are so adorable. Thank you very much, Janelle. Appreciate that. So, M. Baker pushed our cruise to October 2020 from Allure of the Seas to Mariner. What are your thoughts on Mariner? I love Mariner. Mariner has been a ship I've been on probably the most over the last couple of years, ever since her refurbishment. They've done a fantastic job with that ship. I love Mariner of the Seas. It's a fun ship. Lots to do. Great value. My goodness. So, yeah. Ben, if the quantum trials are going well, why are the other ships been delayed? Because what happens in Singapore stays in Singapore. What happens in Singapore has no bearing on what happens here in the U.S. The CDC is running the show here, Ben, and that question is a question for the CDC, and they have not said anything about that. So while it may provide ancillary evidence, be like, look, I mean, I'd be the first to admit that what's happening in Singapore, the country, in terms of COVID, and what's happening here in the United States are vastly different situations. And I think the CDC is aware of that. But the bottom line is the reason why, the most direct answer to your question is because there's nobody on the CDC from the CDC on those quantum of the sea sailings. Thus, it doesn't count. So, Mimo wants to know, why has it been so quiet with no updates on short cruises, or have they started testing? We don't know. There's been no updates. Part of it, I think, Mimo, is that the holidays came about. I don't know about what it's like where you work or anything like that, but once you get to Thanksgiving, a lot of things just, everybody stops working to some degree. There's not a lot of progress being made in that November, December timeframe because of the holidays, people taking off, a variety of things. I think when we're here in January, my hope is we're going to see some more progress there. But part of it is, listen, nobody's talking also. It's not like there's regular updates in which Royal Caribbean or the CDC is saying, hey, there's nothing's happening. There's been just this vacuum of updates. And the problem is, in that vacuum, we're stuck waiting for more information. So my hope is just that the holidays kind of slowed everything down. But now that we're past that, we're going to start moving towards cruising resuming. Fingers crossed. All right, got time for another question or two, guys. Thank God. I can't believe how fast tonight's YouTube live went. My goodness, this is awesome. Ben, China's the safest place on Earth right now. Why are ships not sailing from Chinese ports? I think just like the U.S., Ben, my understanding, and I could be wrong on this, my understanding is Royal Caribbean needs government permission in order to sail. Similar to how they attained it in Singapore. My belief is that they require it over there, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Mark the Shark, welcome. Ron Ladowski says the drink package also allows you to try alcoholic coffee drinks at Cafe Promenade. Yes, absolutely. So, Brogan, after Wonder of the Seas, are there any more Oasis class ships on order? Yes, there is a sixth one theoretically on order. I say theoretically because who knows what's going to happen going forward. But there was an order placed for a sixth one. Yes. Quick Beat, do you think the crew will have to come up with a better protocol for false positive test results while on board? Good question. I think there's some, to some extent, the answer is yes. But ultimately, false positives are going to happen. Just the nature of the beast. I think, quite frankly, there needs to be, as a society, we need to move away from one case is one too many on a cruise ship. Be honest with you. One case is not, false positive or not, obviously, is not a reason to end the cruise. It shouldn't be, because you guys live in the same, whether you're like Brogan or Matt over in the UK, whether you're most probably everybody else here in chat from the US, one case, talk about dropping the bucket. It's a big, those people should be quarantined, isolated, disembarked at the cruise line's expense at the very next port in order to, get them the treatment they need. But the cruise should go on. It shouldn't stop because of one case, assuming that, again, the isolation, the quarantine, and the contact tracing occurs in a safe and effective manner. I don't see a reason, not for one case. Then you get to, a couple more. Okay, that's a different story right there. But I think there needs to be a realistic approach to this, because we live in a world in which we're seeing, you guys know, I don't have to explain to you what's happening out there. So one case should not be, whereas, the Miami Dolphins quarterback gets COVID and everyone's like, what's she going to do? Anyway, Jason Morris Thank you for the super chat. Jesus says, thanks for answering my questions and for the big honker. The big honker, my friend. Yes. I agree on that one. So, all right, last question of the day. We're going to end on a happy note, guys, here. And I want everybody to type the answer in chat. What's your answer to Kyle's? Kyle Donnerworth wants to know, what's your go-to drink on a cruise? Type your answer in chat. I'll keep the chat going for a little bit longer. My answer is, my always go-to drink is Lava Flow with Kraken rum, number one. But if I'm getting a little old, I can't be drinking Lava Flows like crazy anymore because it's a lot of sugar. So that's like my first drink on the cruise. But my subsequent, I'm hanging at the bar with Mike Pastore on the cruise. I'm having Kraken with Diet Coke. That is my go-to, like, hey, let's just chill here for a little bit. Love that. Kraken rum, Diet Coke. Tony Diaz with the super chat. Thank you, Tony. You're getting a lot of key questions. Is that a good sign? That's a sign that, I don't know, is that a good sign or not? I just love Tony getting real, I mean, not the other questions aren't real, but you know what I mean? Like tangible going on a cruise questions. I love seeing that right there. Strongbow at a Diamond Happy Hour. My wife loves Strongbow as well. We got an answer here from Dawn, which got flagged for spam. Thanks, Dawn. There you go. Now it's Lava Flow with mango, but we have been known for buttery nipples. Oh, now I know why this message got flagged, Dawn. Thanks a lot. Dawn, always trouble. Let me tell you something. I love Dawn, but she is always trouble. By the way, Dawn, we're going to be taking a trip up to Ohio to drop off a cat. Just so don't be surprised when I show up there. All right, on that note, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here today. Lots in there. Danny DiMatteo, thank you, Matt, for answering my questions. Thanks for doing these live chats. Learn a lot and great refresher. Absolutely. We do this every Monday. Come join us again next Monday, guys. And in the meantime, check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. There's 3 new blog posts up there today. I got more coming this week for you guys, so plenty happening at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I want everybody to stay safe out there, especially our friends over in the UK. And hopefully we'll be talking again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody. Oh, before I go, hold on. I need to say thank yous. Thank you for the super chats. Tony Diaz, thank you for the super chat. Jason Morris, thank you for the super chat. Michelle Pros, thank you for the super chat. Not a real person, thank you for the super chat. Matthew Smith, blimey, thank you for the super chat. Tony Cover Comedy, thank you for the super chat for the kiddies. DX Rocks, thank you for the super chat. Brenna, thank you for the super chat. Danny DiMatteo, thank you for the super chat. Kim Oakland, thank you for the super chat. Jan Fagan, thank you for the super chat. Anne Marie Myers, thank you for the super chat. Ed Speece, thanks for the super chat. And, of course, Jan Fagan again. My goodness, my heart goes out to you, Jan. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us here, guys. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. See you guys.